So the video people get to see a little extra at the beginning, a little extra at the end. We record the audio podcast in the middle and post that. Then we'll have interaction. Yeah, it'll be fun. We're glad you're
Jeremy
here.
His
listen,
evil mastermind hat.
I love that I'm learning how to do all this because I used to deliver sausage, but I never got to see how it was made. So this is I'm getting to see how the 3, 2, 1 improv sausage is made right here.
But don't they say this is what you? But that's not what. That's what you don't want to see, right? They always say you don't want to see how the sausage is made.
Oh well,
that's not Micah's. That's not Micah's philosophy.
Anyway, we are live.
All right. So we got some questions for you. We'll have some fun. We'll crank up the audio podcast, and then there's always confusing moments where we show something on the screen, and the audio people don't get to be a part of that. Good times.
All right, here we go. I'll fire up the audio. Cat.
Wait, hang on.
All right.
Yeah, just a second.
Come on.
Hang on just a second.
Oh, same.
I remember back in my day when we used to tour, there were people that would show up for shows and they would be next to each other and we would shake their hands afterwards and wear
we would be excited about a packed room with people sitting shoulder to shoulder.
Sounds wild.
The beginning of this century was a much different time.
All right, here we go. Audio in 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 321 Improv Podcast. It's Tuesday at noon, which means we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Jeremy is up there in Oklahoma, down there, over there in Oklahoma.
Noon for you.
Mike is in New Hampshire. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
And right there is our special guest, our good friend Micah Tyler, all the way from the great state of Texas.
That's it, in the bathroom. That's where I'm coming to you from.
Last fall, we were together on the different kind of night tour, hanging out, traveling around the country, having fun. And one thing that you talked about was the desire you had to put a urinal in your bathroom in your house. Did you do that?
You know what? Nobody
rotate that camera.
Go. Ready?
Let's see it.
Urinal cam.
I would have cleaned up. Hold on, I'm coming. Look at that!
Hey.
Boom!
There it is.
I had to buy one of those. You have to order those on Amazon. It smells like what it's called. It's called black ice, which just smells like dentine gum.
Nice.
So,
that doesn't come. That doesn't come with.
Well, I feel like we
saw it here first.
Gotten some good closure there on that issue. That's great.
That is bonus material. If you're listening to the podcast, we just saw an actual urinal in Micah Tyler's bathroom because this is where he does all of his media from now.
Yeah,
apparently.
Right? You were supposed to be out touring the New Today record, right? Traveling around right now, right? Do you know where you would have been?
Well, so I was supposed to go on tour with 10th Avenue North. I was actually on a tour bus whenever the whole country shut down. So 3 of the first counties in the United States were in Washington, and we were doing 2 shows there. And I flew in, hopped on the tour bus. They said, "Hey, we're going to cancel the show in Seattle tomorrow. We may have to cancel another show this weekend." And then later that day, they said, "Well, we're flying home. The tour's over with. We'll see if we can get this thing going again back in maybe like in May or something like that." And I'm still in my bathroom waiting on the tour bus to pick me up right now. So we'll see. It's
Dang.
So the record came out at the end of April, and so we didn't have anything on the books yet, but we were putting together this 5 or 6 city tour where we're gonna be hitting some major markets and talking about the record and playing some songs and doing some things, but that is not happening now.
Yeah. For those of you out there, Micah Tyler's New Today album is available now. Go to his website and purchase it, and then listen to it on Spotify.
But only after you purchase it,
direct from his website.
So this feels like a game right now. I can't hear Jeremy. What? I'm just watching you guys to see his reaction, and I'm realizing how bad I am at lip reading.
Can you hear us talk?
I hear both of you guys.
You hear us?
It's not him. He's got an incredible shirt on, but I
Jeremy's
can't
the one
hear
with all the power.
Hello.
Perfect. All right, so Jeremy's going to work on his audio for a second. We're going to show off some different kind of night tour gear. Here are the fanny packs that all of us received as a tour gift. Thank you
but
so
the
much
rest
for
of you
those.
guys can hear me, right?
Yes,
The rest of you guys can hear me, right?
Yes,
I can hear
completely. My wife uses this fanny pack when she goes for walks, carries her phone in it. She loves it.
I love how it's now become like an heirloom in the family. That's good.
Yes. Jeremy's got the different kind of night sweatshirt on, the hoodie on.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
this is different.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Unrelated to our tour. Mike and Tyler did just have a song called Different.
Yeah, but the reason he wrote that song was so he could go on tour with us.
It was a long con so that we could eat wings and drink sparkling water and go on tour together.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's that brings us to a good question. We brought this up last week. At night, a lot of times late on the bus, we would have a late night snack. Usually it was Buffalo Wild Wings. Jeremy, we all know, a big fan of Buffalo Wild Wings. We've been actually trying to get a sponsorship here. So if you know anybody at Buffalo Wild Wings, feel free to help out with that.
Jeremy got all the points for that, so I'm surprised he's not the Buffalo Wild King at this point. Like, shouldn't he be like, they throw like rose petals and like packets of ranch on the ground when he walks in or something?
It's true. Can you still not hear me?
You got him?
I hear you now. Yeah,
nice.
I got it.
Oh, there we go.
The question is,
we're good to go.
One night on the tour bus, the Wild Wings did not come from Buffalo Wild Wings. We had chicken wings from another location. Was that intentional, just to check Jeremy's loyalty and see if he would actually eat those wings? Or was it because there was not a Buffalo Wild Wings in the area? Do you know?
I think it was an amalgamation of, it was Wingstop. I know that. But I believe it was, there was no Buffalo Wild Wings. And I think that it was like a palate cleanser. It's like,
there's
we were
no
going
need,
to eat another vinegar-based buffalo sauce from another place so that we can, like, cleanse our palate to go back to the Wild Wing, just to freshen it up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still fried chicken basted sauce, but
true.
We every once in a while you just got to just go for it a little. You just got to spice things up a little bit. So.
Oh no, my wife's watching the podcast and she realized that I stole her fanny pack.
No, quick,
that is amazing.
All right, we have a couple of things to clean up from last week's podcast. First of all, we were supposed to be in Oxford, Mississippi with Chick-fil-A, which you can't go wrong hanging out with the Chick-fil-A people, right? Big customer appreciation event. And then from there, we were going on to Montreal because we're really good at routing. I'm sure you're familiar with our skills in that area.
Yeah. I think it's how the geese fly. They just go.
And then Jeremy's got a little bit that he does here on the podcast. It's called Jazzy Jeremy, and we'll let you see some of this later. We want to build up the anticipation. Jazzy Jeremy often reads 80s lyrics to us, and some people call it nice, some people call it creepy. We've heard both. But here's the question that came from last week. He was doing some Eurythmics lyrics, and we got in a little bit of a discussion.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Right. So you were here at the end last week. So Jeremy, you want to share your question about the lyrics and you have some problems with their lyric writing, and Mike is a songwriter. He should be able to help us out.
Right. So the lyrics written are "Sweet dreams are made of this," but it really sounds like he's saying these. In the song.
Two things. Number one, that is a woman named Annie Lennox.
Right.
So we're gonna go just to make sure that we're on the same thing. And secondly, who am I to disagree?
Right.
Which is
you bring up a good point.
All right, he's gone.
I deserve it. That makes
all
sense.
Right.
What happens when you give Jeremy power? So sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree, right? Don't you think there was a rhyme worked in there?
Yeah.
But you travel the world in the 7 seas. Because sweet dreams are made of these.
Okay, so here's the question. So you guys we all know you guys are linguists at heart. So with a British accent, because Annie Lennox is British. So I want you to say,
I didn't know he was
sweet
British.
dreams are made of this. Sweet dreams are made of this with a British accent, and let's see if it sounds like these.
Not
everybody at once.
Mike, do you have a British accent for us?
Yes.
Mike's our accent expert.
My inner Annie Lennox. Sweet dreams are made of. Now I'm overthinking it. Sweet dreams are made of this.
I could see.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Sweet dreams are made of this.
Mike, I have another question for you. This weekend, I was excited to let Jeremy know that when I was going through a random box like you do during quarantine, I stumbled on some old 5 Iron Frenzy CDs. My question for you is, how did ska influence your music?
How did ska influence? I'm sorry. This is from Micah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to answer that. Go for it.
Okay. Here's the deal. So sometimes the Lord just does things. Okay. I mean, you can't question it. Literally yesterday, my wife told me, we have a friend on Facebook who said when he met his wife, they've been married for like 16 years, and we met her, he was just a punk kid in college with frosted tips listening to ska music. And she said, what is ska music? And I said, oh, babe, let me bring you back to 1999 in my life, which is whenever I was taking the 35 minutes it took to download one Real Big Fish, Mighty Mighty Boss Tone song on Napster at a time. It's like, get it started, go eat a bowl of cereal, finish some cabinetry, come back and listen to that song, start another one. But listen, there was a nice little stint of I probably went through like a 4-month stint where because Real Big Fish spelled REEL, like reeling in a fish. Real Big Fish used to take like 80 songs, Aha's Take on Me, and they did a ska version of it, which is actually easier than what you would think it would be, like turn everything into a ska version. So I would say that the new album that I just put out does not have a ton of influence on there, but there are instruments and melodies.
Disappointing, but acceptable.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And it's confusing because it is a new album, or you call it a record. What do we say? We say album, we say record, we call it a cassette. What are we doing?
I mean, I typically don't use cassette as much, but everything. I'm kind of like, as long as people, if people are listening to it, they can call it whatever they'd like to.
Right, and don't take Micah's influence there when he's talking about using Napster. What you should do, as Jeremy already pointed out, is you should purchase the new Micah Tyler album, New Today, and then after you have purchased it, then listen to it on Spotify.
That's right. Yeah, right? That's what I would do.
That's how you can afford the urinal.
And listen, what you should do is you should buy it on Apple Music on iTunes.
Yeah.
Buy a physical copy of a CD.
Absolutely.
Right. Spotify. And then if you play it all at the same time, a special message appears.
Yeah. And you get surround sound.
And you do get surround. It's like I'm everywhere, all around you.
And if you take the physical CD, which you're not really going to use, but you want to purchase it, that you could spray paint it black and use it in your urinal as black magic.
That's
Black Ice.
True.
I'm sorry, Black Ice.
No, magic.
Listen, now it's got a new name. That's great.
Whoa.
That's all. That's great. I'm still.
So
I'm
3, 2, 1 is in no way condoning the use of black magic.
Well, we got such a sneak peek of the new record, though. When we were on tour last fall, you were already singing songs from. We got to hear Amen and By Name every night. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And so now everybody else gets to hear it. And it's exciting to see everybody's reaction, the same reaction that we had when we first heard them. What's that like when you've been singing the song for a while, and then all of a sudden it comes out and other people get to enjoy it, and they're like kind of catching up?
Yeah. What's crazy is typically, I'd be touring these songs right now. And so like on the 10th Avenue North tour, I was doing Amen and New Today, as well as different even then, like songs that people have already heard and stuff. But typically it's very rare that I'm putting out an album full of songs that I'm not sitting in a room and seeing how they hit people. And so it was kind of this we did 13 or 14 shows together. And so I played By Name 13 or 14 times. And I played those just a few times. And so now that I have at this point, typically before the record would come out, I would have already played most of these songs multiple times. I would have saw this song fits really well right here, and it hits a crowd like this, and I've heard this. And so it was kind of this oh boy, are these songs going to work and how are they going to hit people and stuff? But the reaction that we've gotten so far has just been really, really special. People have been super encouraging. It feels like it's been well received. I mean, it seems like people are excited to have some new content, and it was that feeling of like, it felt weird to put a record out in the middle of a pandemic, just because I'm going like, there's a lot of more important things happening right now than me like pushing something on Instagram at this point. But I mean, you guys heard my story every night, like the last couple of years as we've been writing this album, like I've just been searching for the hope of Jesus in the midst of some trials and some good stuff and some rough stuff and everything in between. And so what better time to put out, some content that is just laced with the hope of who Jesus is than a time where, kind of hope is about as scarce as toilet paper right now. So, trying to give the people what they need right now.
And I don't think the radio people haven't gotten a hold of Welcome to the Family yet, right? That song, when the radio people get a hold of Welcome to the Family, that thing's going to blow up. I'm telling you. That's just a fun song.
Well, speaking of sponsorship, I've been trying to pitch it to the people of Olive Garden is what I'm trying to get. Welcome to the family, because when you're here, you have breadsticks. I'm just trying to, like, that was definitely, after I got through writing, I was like, oh, this could be about Jesus as well. But at the time, I was like,
there are some parallels there, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you see it.
I saw an interview that you did with CCM Magazine, and I wanted to thank you for the shout out. You didn't specifically mention us by name, but I think the quote was, you said, it's been really fun the last couple of years to be able to go out on tour with some heroes of mine.
Yeah.
And I figured, I've got a smile on my face. I'm like, he's totally talking about us.
Of course.
I mean,
yeah.
Mercy Me was in there, I'm sure, too, but I felt like the focus was probably more on us by the look on your face.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that look in my eye that I gave you guys often, which was admiration and a little bit of fear.
Yeah, the fear was when we decided to put you on the spot and make you make up a song every once in a while. I was a little bit worried about you at first, but man, you nailed that.
Speaking of which, we segue into a new segment called. Just kidding.
No. I've been pitching for the last year and a half since I met you guys. 4, 3, 2, 1 is, I mean, I've already got the fanny packs printed. Like, I'm ready for this. If you guys are ready to do this thing.
Well, because if it means more fanny packs
right now.
Mike is all about fanny packs. He'll have any excuse.
It's a different kind of night, fanny pack.
I mean, I should have put like the limited edition numbers on those, because we only printed like 18 of those, and so that's like number 14 of 18 right there. Or something, so
it's okay.
We had a bunch of fun when we were hanging out on the bus. I was a little bit curious though to hear your story about how you found the band members that were on that tour, because I've never seen so many Chinese tea drinking musicians. Like, they had a formal process down the band. Normally band members are rolling in with their guitar cases, right? And like, all their gear. These guys rolled in with Pelican cases, and when they flipped them open, there's specific little padded areas in there for the mini teacups. And they had, what was the tea bricks or something, or tea cookies? What were those?
Tea cakes.
Tea cakes.
Yes.
I mean, they was fancy stuff. Where'd that come from?
Well, typically when I look for a band, I get on Craigslist, and the first thing I say is, what is your dealing with ancient Chinese rituals? and typically we just kind of work our way from there, and eventually it's like, do you play an instrument? Okay, come on the bus.
Yeah.
That's where we go. No, that was one of those experiences for me. Like Forrest, the keyboard player, had played with me, a bit for a while. I'd met him through some mutual friends and stuff. He's a great guy. And he had told me before, like he was into tea and stuff, but like we're typically like doing fly dates, like flying around the country, doing these things here and there. And so he's not really bringing along a ton of tea. Every once in a while, he'd bring in like a carabiner kind of thing, like one of those little like a little, I don't know, little drink, hot liquid receptacles.
Thermos?
He said, I got a thermos. It had transformers and it came.
Did you go with carabiner first? Like,
well, what is the carabiner? The thing that you hook onto
that's the little latch thing.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
last
you're
thing.
thinking
He
of
had it
the
on his
hollowed out
backpack.
carabiner that you can put liquid in. Yeah.
Right.
And a beaner, that's coffee is beans.
Yes.
This is tea leaves. I
Yeah.
got very confused.
Very different.
So,
Good.
but he had it latched onto his backpack. That's the reason why I said that. So, but he had the little thing. And so, but like he'd have like a little in the butt, like I'm gonna put some hot water in this, whatever. But that's as far as I thought it was gonna go. And like I've had lifting, it's not that big of a deal. And so I remember when we got on the bus, he had told me, he goes, "Oh, Blaine would be a great bass player for us, and he's a tea guy as well." I'm like, "Well, I didn't even know what a tea guy was," and I had no idea that it was going to like. So like it felt like Mulan in there because it was just like you walk in and like there's a Zen set up in there and they've whirled up like a bamboo mat and they're it's and you guys partook.
Yeah,
we got into it.
Yeah, there's a couple of pictures on our Instagram of us partaking with Blaine.
Yeah, you guys spent a considerable amount more time involved in that. I walked by it a couple of times. The 12-step process to get into the tea was the difficult part, I thought.
Very wasteful. They're like pouring tea on the outside of things, and I just kind of was like, I mean, now my favorite part was whenever Blaine poured me at the very end of the tour, he poured me like this really nice tea, and I got a packet of Splenda, and I just ripped it up and put it inside there. He was very upset about that, but it tasted so much better. I was like, "This is how my mama makes it. That's amazing."
Right.
I spent most of my time trying to capture a picture during the show of Blaine with his bass face. He had that, like, right? It was like, I mean, his mouth was all jammed up, his nose was scrunched together, and he was jamming, man.
Yeah.
It's just good. I was very, very. Oh, hey, Alicia.
Hey, that's my sister. She came to one of the different kind of night tours dates.
Yeah,
that's right.
She was there.
I forgot.
Oh,
good times.
That's awesome. It's Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Canada. Come on.
Oh, hey, see, we were talking about Canada too when we brought up 5 Iron Frenzy earlier. Let's go to Canada. Yeah.
See?
Ska music. It's really the heartbeat of your music writing.
I mean,
is what I've heard.
A lot of similarities. We both are singing songs. So.
I have a couple of serious questions for you. Can we go to a serious question?
Whoa.
Let's get to the Barbara Walters portion of this interview.
Well, yeah, maybe not digging quite that deep. So on the tour, we spent each evening, we would all get together and, at my church when I'm at home and not touring, I spend a lot of time working with groups and group leaders. And you created this great community on the tour where each night we would sit down as a group and just kind of compare notes. It was a great opportunity for us to get to know each other on a little bit deeper level and find out what was going on in people's lives. Like, where did that come from for you when you decided to go on the different kind of night tour and you made the odd decision to bring us along? What brought about that idea to like have that specific time each night to get each other together and just kind of create that community?
I think that it was a little bit of a trial and error of, and here's the deal. I've been so fortunate to be a part of a lot of tours with guys who I greatly respect and have had some incredible experiences, but the road is a lonely place and it's a very isolating place at times, especially whenever you kind of feel like that some people are naturally, Jeremy does not mind getting right in the middle of everything, but I think that if Wade, who was the guitar player on the tour, if he was kind of left to his own devices, we would have gotten to know Wade some, but getting to know him and like putting him in situations where it's like, hey, we actually want to know who you are. We want to know things about you and stuff. I feel like it opened him up in some whole new ways. And so for me, I wanted to just give opportunity and invitation for people to be able to be honest. This was kind of our family for a month. And so it's like, families sit down and talk, even if you don't want to sometimes. And it brought up for me just some ways that we were able to pray for each other and walk alongside of each other and, get a wing order. So it was kind of a nice little, it just kind of really helped out with the rest of the night.
Well, it was cool. It was a great opportunity for us to create that community and get to know each other. And yeah, it feels like you get some true friendships out of it and not just somebody that I saw for a couple of nights and we kind of went our own ways. So it was cool. I feel like there are some people who are joining in. We want to catch some people up. This is Mike Tyler. We were all on the Different Kind of Night tour together. He gave us these fanny packs. We're all very thankful. Jeremy's got the different hoodie on representing Mike Tyler.
Right.
We want to make sure that people know Mike has got a new album out, and it's called New Today. And our advice to people is you should go to Apple, go to iTunes and purchase the album. Buy the physical CD. I don't know how you do that.
Go to
Amazon.
MikeTyler.com.
Will they send you? Okay, MikeTyler.com. Buy the physical CD, and then after you've done those things,
put the CD in your car, listen to it there. But the rest of the time on Spotify, listen to it there.
Yeah.
Call your local radio stations.
That's right.
Burn a CD for your friend, and then guilt them about pirating music. And then they'll go buy the CD, and then it's just a cycle at that point.
Yeah.
So I just need you all to get 3 friends to buy this CD. Then you get those 3 friends to all buy it, to get 3 more friends to buy the CD. And eventually, we've got a nice little pyramid of people buying this CD.
So guys, our first challenge then is to find 3 friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Once we've got that done, then we'll start working on your project.
Carl.
That's it.
Yeah. Micah, can we call you a friend? That would give us 3.
I already own the CD.
Oh man, that doesn't work.
Well, we'll get on that.
So you spend a lot of time writing songs. During your tour dates, we get to hear a lot of stories about where some of the songs come from and some of the experiences that you've had writing. I guess one question that I have is, when you're writing a song, there's obviously the music that you like and the songs that you want to write, but somewhere in your head, there's got to be that part that's like talking to you about what other people want to hear. How do you balance like what I want to write and what I want to play versus what people want to hear and hope that they somehow meet together?
I know for me, one of my biggest struggles, and I'm sure you guys do the same way when it comes to other comedians or when it comes to like other entertainers and those kind of things. I love one of the most misquoted quotes that I think is an incredible quote, but I've heard it attached to C.S. Lewis, but I don't think he said it. I think it was actually Teddy Roosevelt who said, comparison is the thief of joy. And so for me, I have a lot more struggle looking over at Phil Wickham and go like, oh my gosh, I wish I had a song like what Phil Wickham is doing, or I wish I could sing like Bart from Mercy Me, or I wish I could write a song like, whoever. Like I start comparing myself to these people and stuff. But what I've learned is that God kind of builds things inside of us so that we can show who He has been to us, show the things that He is teaching me. And so in my writing, I guess for me, the music side of things kind of comes from influence. That's where you're going to hear a lot of the things that I listened to growing up. This record has a whole lot of soul on it because I listened to a ton of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles and that kind of stuff growing up, and gospel music and that kind of thing. But I think when it comes to songwriting, the 2 rules that I have when I write a song, and this has just been my experience since I've been writing music, is number 1, I want it to line up with God's word, because at the end of the day, that is for everybody. Like that's the one thing where it's like, no matter what taste is in the music that you may have, if you're a ska fan or if you're a R&B fan or if you're a rock fan, like growing up in my house was real strange because we had music going at all times. Like if my mom was going to vacuum, she had music going. If my dad was working on the truck outside, like there was music going. But my family listened to very, very different music. And so my mom was like a big fan of like Michael Bolton and also, but she listened to a lot of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles and stuff, but also listened to like Elvis Presley and doo-wop music. And my dad was like Bon Jovi and like hair metal and like country music and like Willie Nelson and everything. So it was this weird gumbo pot kind of surrounding me. But what I've learned is like the influence part, I think, is one of those situations that can kind of go for different people. What happened to you?
I'm keep going.
Mike didn't like the story. He wanted to take a break.
He just ducked out.
Gone. The Bible is for almost everybody.
I'm listening the whole time.
But
Scott,
when it comes to scripture, like scripture's been given to us to be able to experience, to be able to know Jesus and to learn about Jesus. And so for me, it's like, is he stuck? He looks stuck to me. He's mid karate chop right now.
He is. Yes.
That's amazing. This is a great element for a podcast.
Yeah. Well, we're at our church, we're studying 1st and 2nd Samuel. And so your song, My God Fights for Me on the new album is great. Like the whole story of David and Goliath mixed in there. It's so good. Now, yeah, the whole thing, like I said, once the radio stations get a hold of some of these songs, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm stoked.
We have a. Is he
hurting? I'm gonna take him down.
Yeah, that's
that face was
really
scary.
Really disturbing. Micah, you're familiar with our game. I'm Weird the game. I don't know if you played.
House.
Oh, nice!
Our kids love it. Yes.
All right, we want to share this with everybody. So, Micah, this is a segment we like to call Micah Tyler Plays I'm Weird the Game. All right, so Jeremy will be giving you some suggestions.
Mike, do you have anything to say? Oh, okay.
Jeremy, can you mention an item for Micah that you would keep in your backpack?
Keep in your backpack.
Something that you would find in your backpack.
A binder.
A binder?
A carabiner.
Something that runs on electricity.
Mike? All right. Something that runs on electricity. How about a remote control car?
A binder, a remote control car, and something inflatable.
A hot air balloon.
A binder, a remote control car, and a hot air balloon. Micah, you will need to use those to give a 1-minute locker room pep talk. So maybe you're giving us a pep talk. Hey, guys, get out there and do a good job using a binder, a remote control car, and a hot air balloon. A 1-minute locker room pep talk. Ready, go.
This quarantine's hard. We all know that. I think that some of us can get so puffed up with fear, like a hot air balloon. But let me tell you something right now. It's time to let a little bit more of that fire, puff it all the way up. We're going out there and we're going to show them exactly what we got. Don't even worry about running out of batteries. You're not a remote control car. You're a human being that has breath inside of your lungs. And your blood is pumping, and we're moving. We're going to put on our face masks. We're going to wash our hands for 20 seconds at a time, maybe 25. I don't even know. I have to check the binder about that. But here's the thing that I want you to know right now. We're going to go out there. We're going to stay 6 feet apart from everybody, and we're going to take this world by storm. One sanitized step at a time. Let's go!
Yes! I'm fired up. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
It's like you get a football pep talk in the locker room. You get a quarantine pep talk from Micah Tyler in the bathroom. Okay, normally we wrap up with Jazzy Jeremy reading Aries 80s lyrics. We want to put a little spin on that this week. How about Jazzy Jeremy reading Micah Tyler lyrics?
I've peaked.
Even when it feels like my world is shaken. Even when I've had all I can take.
Wait, he's reading these? Wait, does he not have these memorized?
Let me go.
It's called reading lyrics. It's not called going by memory.
I thought these were all burned.
Actually,
I thought these were all burned
the lyric
in.
is actually even this.
What? What?
Not these?
No, it's not these. It's even this.
Come on. And then the sweet dreams and the even.
Segment's over.
That's it.
Micah,
Next
thanks
week,
so much.
I do challenge you. Please do the Corey Hart song, Sunglasses at Night. That's going to be an incredible jazz. That one's just ready to go. Just heads up. My one request.
Something to look forward to next week. Jazzy Jeremy reads Corey Hart, Sunglasses at Night, and our new guest host will be here again next week, Micah Tyler.
I have nothing to do. Reach in the bathroom.
Even if you're not there, it'll just be a camera sitting there in your bathroom, and we can check out the urinal. I'll put
it on the urinal. It'll be great.
We'll just be jealous, like, oh, he's got a urinal in his house. That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to sell urinal kegs at my merch table when this thing opens back up later.
That's
a good idea.
Ideal.
And maybe fanny packs.
Ooh, see? The merch store, you can go to miketyler.com/merch. There's no telling what's gonna pop up on there.
Let us know whenever you're ready to go back out. We're ready.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We can be ready on very short notice.
I love it.
Thanks for joining us, man. It's good to see you.
Hey, you guys are the best, man. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're well. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for listening and watching, everybody. Thank you, Micah Tyler, for being here with us. We are 321 Improv, 3 Christian guys combined into one ministry, all to bring glory to the one who makes it all possible. We will talk to you again next week. This podcast ends in 3, 2, 1.
4.
Nice work.
Audio is clear.
So now the video people get a little bonus material.
Full disclosure, I can only hear Carl since coming back.
Oh, no. Well, look, this is a visual element. And look, I almost put on this hat to be a man of the people. Hold on. Right. This
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Is that a taco?
Wow.
That's a taco.
Wow.
Taco-
Fun fact.
Taco Tuesday.
The Fresno Grizzlies, which is a minor league baseball team, they were the first team to trademark. Every Tuesday, they become the Fresno Tacos for Taco Tuesday.
Oh, man.
So
Nice.
I was given this hat
That's amazing.
for singing at one of their baseball games, which I have nowhere to wear it because it looks very stereotypically sketchy. I feel like it just looks like I just don't know the setting yet for it. So this is the first time I've ever broken it out. This feels like the great place to start out here.
Oh, now Jonathan shows up
Of course.
late to the party.
Yes. Come on.
Look how tall Jonathan is in that picture, Micah. The lady next to him is 6'3".
Oh my gosh. He's towering over her.
Micah, I feel like your Houston Astros, once this is over, they're going to be phenomenal. Think about all the time they've had to sit there and think about their sign stealing during this.
I know.
Right?
I mean, at this point, they may just actually practice to be good enough to beat all the other teams. That's what I'm hoping for.
They won't even hardly need to try. It'll be great.
This is the part of the conversation where just this side of the screen is interested in what we're talking about.
Jeremy, just in Jeremy's head, all you hear is blah, 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 baseball, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This would be a great game.
Right,
so Mike can hear now. I thought Mike could not hear anymore. I was gonna just see if we could charades the rest of this interview so Mike wouldn't know what was happening.
Check it out. My sister muted her Zoom meeting so she could listen to us instead. I like how confident she is that her boss isn't watching any of this.
Jonathan's dunking on his mom.
Amazing.
Micah, great to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Let's be in the same room when this whole thing's over with.
That would be fantastic.
I don't even know what that's like anymore.
I'm gonna go give my wife her fanny pack back.
I love it. Later,
Thanks, man.
fellas. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Whew, good.